Hi, I'm Muriel Anderson, and here we are in sunny Long Island. I'm playing around with composing in DADGAD today, so I thought I'd take a few minutes to show you some patterns that I discovered. It's fun how easy they are, and it's a great tuning to compose in. So first of all, we'll get the guitar in DADGAD tuning, and that's just tuned to D, A, D, G, A, D. So your sixth string will be an octave from the fourth string, and then your second string, tune that to an A, and the first string is also a D. So you've got three Ds here, 6, 4, and 1 will all be tuned to D. So the fun thing that happens in that tuning is that a lot of your notes will be on the second fret and the fourth fret. So you can think of your scales as just straight lines going across the fingerboard. If you work through that book, All Chords in All Positions, you'll know that you can think of your scales as just lines across the fingerboard. Some are straight and some are squiggly lines that move around. But in DADGAD, when you make a scale, all of them end up being straight lines, at least in first position here. So everything is on the second fret and the fourth fret, or open strings. Now here you've got this, you have options of a couple of places to play these notes, since your A is on either string, so is your B. So you see all those are on the second and fourth fret. So I can just play around with the second and fourth fret and open strings, maybe do pull-offs, hammer-ons, and I'll have melodies. Anything you do on the second and fourth fret, you're home free. So that'll probably give you some ideas right off the bat. Now let's play with a couple other different lines. Let's go to the lines that make the scale anywhere on that first string. So I'll play with these two lines, and the fourth and the fifth fret. And then I'll do those two lines on all the strings. Now that gives me mostly notes in that key, and then I've got this nice little note there. That's out of the key. In fact, that's a flat 7, which is a pretty note in the key of D, that flat 7. I like that note in there. So it gives me a little different flavor. So I can write a tune then just with these two lines. All right, let's go to the next two lines. So that brings us to the 5th and the 7th fret. And I've still got that nice little flat 7 note that gives you a little flavor. Okay, this is fun now. I'll do the next two. That gives me another little flavor there. And open strings can be interspersed anywhere. Now let's go to the next two. Now that gives me some weird notes. So that gives me a little dissonance there. I've got a sharp 4 going on there. So that line I'll probably use if I only want some really weird sounds. And then I'm back to some more notes in the scale. So you can use those ideas as starting points to start writing a tune, and then after that, just follow where the melody wants to go. So if it wants to go someplace outside of those notes or that group of notes that you chose, just let it go there. I'll play a little bit of a tune that I use mostly on the 2nd and 4th frets, a little bit on the 5th fret, and sometimes I'll reach for another note up there, or where it wants to go someplace different, I'll let the melody find its way. So I call this one Always on My Way Home. So you can find the sheet music to that on my website. There's a whole page of sheet music and tab that you can print out. And I play around with it a little bit, so I may do some slides and some little bit different notes than are on the sheet music, but it's mostly the same. And let's do another one that has kind of that same feel. This is called The Gathering, and both of these are on the Harp Guitars Under the Stars CD. So I normally play both of those tunes on a harp guitar, and there are some notes that I'm leaving out and putting some other notes in their place that I would play on the sub basses. So you noticed on that one I liked the C, so I played mostly the second and fourth frets, but I added that C note, so I'm using the C's in both of these octaves in that tune. So there we are, and I hope that gives you some inspiration and some ideas. I'd love to hear some of your tunes as well.